I predict that the world will end at the stroke of midnight on New Year's Eve.
They were way off.
This year?
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down the top 10 movie predictions about the future that turned out wrong.
Destination, please.
Home.
Just to set the score, we're only focusing on movie futures where the actual dates have been specified, meaning that they've already passed or are completely impossible to come true in the short time remaining. Number 10, Demolition Man. Kicking off our list is the film set in 2032. Though that's still a ways off, it's already proven impossible since it states that there hasn't been a single murder since 2010, let alone prisoners being cryogenically frozen since 1996. While we're on the subject, imagine a world where Taco Bell is the only restaurant and yet there is no toilet paper. Seems unlikely.
Your tone is quasi-facetious, but you do not realize that Taco Bell was the only restaurant to survive the franchise wars.
So?
So? Now all restaurants are Taco Bell.
No way.
You gonna kill me now, Snake?
Number 9,
I'm too tired.
Escape from New York.
Maybe later.
Consider New York a dump? Well, according to this film, things got so bad that in 1988, Manhattan became a giant maximum security prison housing the world's worst scum, left to form gangs and kill each other off.
New York becomes the one maximum security prison for the entire country.
We're going to avoid the chance for biting social satire there and grudgingly admit that hasn't technically happened. By 1997, the planet was supposed to have already emerged from World War III, while the US president was busy being kidnapped and held within said prison. Instead of having a sex scandal with his intern. Awesome.
Anybody not wearing 2 million sunblock is gonna have a real bad day, get it?
Number 8, Judgment Day, Terminator series. This prediction about the main event of 1997 being a nuclear strike by a self-aware military computer system was pretty bleak. Even bleaker was the possible rise of skeletal robotic armies used to wipe out the rest of humanity. If you want to stick to the twisted continuity, after the events of T2, the war was postponed to 2004. But that also didn't happen. Number 7. 2001, A Space Odyssey. How about that, a time-stamped prediction? Here, Stanley Kubrick's classic predicted our colonization of space, discovery of alien artifacts, and the use of an evil, self-aware computer.
I know that you and Frank were planning to disconnect me, and I'm afraid that's something I cannot allow to happen.
Not only has space travel not really advanced all that much since 1969's moon landing, but we're still light years away from inventing computers this evil, despite the rise of pop-ups and adware.
Yes. It's puzzling.
Besides, Pan Am went belly up in 1991, so that prediction was really on the moon?
You want to make love to me because I drive the monster and wear this costume.
Number 6, Death Race 2000. In this film, society goes off the rails in a big way in the late 1970s.
Since the world crash of 79.
No, we're not talking about disco.
Do you like to dance?
This meant a financial crisis and a military coup enveloping the US of A. Transformed into a fascist police state doubling a society's church, they've institutionalized a televised annual transcontinental race based on killing innocent pedestrians.
Frankenstein scores! Frankenstein scores at last!
By 2000, cities are dotted with giant spires and emerald domes, while the population was rife with ever-present bloodlust.
Beautiful kill! A neat kill!
Well, if you've ever been to Boston during the Stanley Cup playoffs, the last one is technically true.
Race is the symbol of everything we hold dear, our American way of life. Sure, it's violent, but that's the way we love it. Violent, violent, violent!
Number 5, Fahrenheit 451. Based on the 1953 dystopian novel by Ray Bradbury, this film showcased a frightening prediction of what the world would look like immediately following the atomic wars of 1990. Here, books have become outlawed. As such, the fire department are now the book-burning brigade. In and use flamethrowers to incinerate any and all literature and the dangerous ideas they contain.
That's good. That's what I like to see. Sweet reason.
That means that in this future, your Kindle Fire would literally be set on fire.
Look, isn't that lovely? The pages, like flower petals or butterflies.
It seems to me that the worst is over.
Number 4, 2012. Okay, there were a lot of people who actually believed this one. Based on the dire prediction deciphered from the end of the Mayan calendar, many people believed that the world itself would end in 2012. Of course, Hollywood showed us its incredibly outrageous interpretation of that scenario.
Jackson, hurry up! Look behind you! Oh, God.
More outrageous still is that they expected us to believe that John Cusack would be the one to survive. Number 3, just imagine. If one film on the list can be said to have given itself enough time for the predictions to come true, it's this one.
You were struck by lightning in 1930. This is 1980.
Predicting 1980, it showed the perfectly reasonable assumption that people would swap names for numbers,
J21 and MT3.
Airplanes would totally replace cars, food would come in pill form,
The roast beef was a little bit tough.
Mars would just be a rocket ship away, and babies would be born from vending machines.
What do you want, a boy or a girl?
A boy.
Dang, so close.
Give me the good old days.
Our laces, all right.
Number 2, Back to the Future, Part 2. This is the future we all wished for as kids. That's right, what's not to like? A 2015 with flying cars, weather service,
right on the tick,
rejuvenation clinics,
what do you think?
Hoverboards, self-drying clothing, and 19 different Jaws movies. Well, maybe not the last part.
Shark still looks fake.
Interestingly, they were sort of right about 2 things. Games no longer being played with your hands, and 3D movies. Sorta.
You mean you have to use your hands? That's like a baby's toy.
Number 1, 1984. Big Brother is watching you. Man, does this film adaptation of George Orwell's 1949 dystopian classic present a bleak version of the future.
It has been announced that the chocolate ration is to be increased to 25 grams per week.
This consists of global totalitarian governments, perpetual war, endless propaganda, and the end of personal freedom.
The war is not meant to be won. It is meant to be continuous.
In this bleak world of newspeak and thought crime, your emotions can get you killed and your every move is scrutinized by government surveillance.
Take him instead of me. He's the thought criminal. It's him you want.
Okay, so that surveillance bit actually did sort of happen. Way to go, NSA.
6079 Smith W. Yes, you. Bend lower. You're not trying.
The end of the world will be on February 14th in the year 2016.
So which totally wrong version of the future do you find most appealing? Or unappealing? For more lists filled with complete fiction, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
This conversation can serve no purpose anymore. Goodbye.
Al?